If you are choosing between Square and Stripe right now, this decision can literally affect your fees, approvals, payouts, and even whether your business gets shut down. So let's fix the confusion fast and make sure you pick the right one for your exact use case, starting with the big picture because Square and Stripe solve the same problem in very different ways. Both let you accept payments, both are trusted worldwide, but they are built for completely different business styles. So first understand the core philosophy. Square is designed for simplicity and in-person selling, while Stripe is designed for flexibility and online-first businesses. And once you understand that, everything else makes sense. So let's start with Square and how it works from the ground up. Square is an all-in-one payment system, meaning you get the payment processor, the dashboard, the basic analytics, the invoicing, and even point-of-sale software in one place. You sign up, verify your identity, connect your bank account, and you can start accepting payments almost immediately. Especially in physical locations, Square is famous for its hardware, like the Square Reader, Square Stand, and Square Terminal, which are designed for retail stores, cafes, gyms, salons, and service businesses. The big advantage here is speed and simplicity. There is almost no setup, you do not need technical skills, and you do not need to integrate APIs. Everything works out of the box. You open the app, type the amount, tap the card, and you are paid. Square also handles receipts, refunds, taxes, tips, and basic inventory tracking. So for beginners or offline businesses, this feels very smooth. Now let's talk about Square pricing because this matters a lot. Square uses flat rate pricing, which means you know exactly what you pay per transaction. For in-person payments it is usually around 2.6% plus 10 cents, and for online payments it is around 2.9% plus 30 cents. This is easy to understand and predictable, but the downside is that for high-volume businesses or large transactions, flat fees can become expensive compared to custom rates. Square also tends to hold funds if their system detects unusual activity, especially for new accounts or large sudden transactions. This is important to know because many beginners get surprised by temporary holds. Now let's move to Stripe and how it works. Stripe is not a point-of-sale system. Stripe is a payment infrastructure. It is built for online businesses, SaaS products, subscription platforms, marketplaces, and custom websites. When you use Stripe, you are not just adding a checkout button, you are plugging into a powerful payment engine that can handle complex logic, multiple currencies, recurring billing, usage-based pricing, webhooks, and automation. Stripe requires more setup than Square, especially if you want advanced features, but the power you get is much higher. Stripe integrates directly with websites, apps, and platforms using APIs, but if you are not technical, Stripe also offers no-code and low-code options like payment links, hosted checkout pages, and integrations with platforms like Shopify, WooCommerce, Webflow, and many others. Now let's talk about Stripe pricing. Stripe also uses a pay-as-you-go model, usually around 2.9% plus 30 cents for online card payments. But Stripe shines when your business grows, because Stripe can offer volume discounts, custom pricing, and optimized routing. Stripe also supports many more payment methods than Square, including international cards, local bank transfers, digital wallets, and region-specific options, which is a huge advantage for global businesses. Now let's compare Square versus Stripe feature by feature. Starting with ease of use, Square wins for beginners and offline businesses. The interface is simple, the setup is fast, and you can start selling the same day without technical knowledge. Stripe has a learning curve, especially if you go beyond basic checkout, but once set up, it is extremely powerful. Next is online payments. Stripe clearly wins here. Stripe is built for online-first businesses, with better checkout customization, better subscription management, better fraud detection, and better global support. Square can do online payments, but it feels more limited and less flexible. Next is in-person payments. Square wins by a mile. Stripe does have in-person solutions, but Square is optimized for physical retail and service environments, including hardware, POS features, and staff management. Next is subscriptions and recurring billing. Stripe is the clear winner. Stripe offers advanced subscription logic, trials, prorations, usage-based billing, coupons, and detailed analytics. Square has subscriptions, but they are basic and limited. Next is international availability. Stripe operates in more countries and supports more currencies and payment methods than Square, which makes Stripe better for international or remote businesses. Square is more region-limited and focused on specific markets. Next is payouts and cash flow. Square often offers instant deposits for a fee, which is great for small businesses that need fast cash. Stripe payouts are usually scheduled, but very reliable. and you can customize payout timing in many cases. Now let's talk about fraud and chargebacks. Stripe has one of the most advanced fraud prevention systems called Stripe Radar, which uses machine learning and global data to reduce fraud. This is especially important for online businesses. Square also offers fraud protection, but it is more basic compared to Stripe. Next is scalability. Stripe is built to scale from small startups to massive enterprises. Companies like Amazon, Shopify, and Airbnb use Stripe because it can handle complex workflows and massive volumes. Square can scale, but it is better suited for small to medium-sized businesses. Now let's talk about dashboards and reporting. Square's dashboard is very beginner-friendly, with simple sales reports, customer lists, and inventory summaries. Stripe's dashboard is more detailed and technical, but also much deeper, especially for finance teams and developers. Now let's talk about integrations. Stripe integrates with almost everything: CRMs, accounting tools, analytics platforms, marketing tools, and custom apps. Square also integrates with many tools, but the ecosystem is smaller compared to Stripe. Now let's answer the most important question: which one should you choose? If you run a physical store, cafe, gym, salon, restaurant, or service business, Square is usually the better choice. It is simple, fast, and built for in-person payments. If you sell online, run a SaaS, offer subscriptions, digital products, or want full control over your checkout and billing logic, Stripe is the better choice. If you are a beginner and want the least friction possible, Square feels easier. If you are technical or plan to scale globally, Stripe gives you more power long-term. Now let's talk about common mistakes people make when choosing between Square and Stripe. The first mistake is choosing Square for a complex online business, which often leads to limitations later. The second mistake is choosing Stripe without understanding the setup, which can overwhelm beginners. The third mistake is ignoring fees at scale, because flat rates can become expensive over time. Now let's talk about switching later. Yes, you can switch from Square to Stripe or from Stripe to Square, but it takes time, data migration, and customer updates, so choosing correctly early can save you a lot of pain. Now let's talk about safety and compliance. Both Square and Stripe are PCI compliant, secure, and trusted, but they have strict policies. Sudden spikes in volume or risky business models can trigger reviews or holds, so always read the acceptable use policies and scale gradually. Now let's do a quick real-world scenario comparison. Imagine you own a coffee shop. Square is perfect. You need fast checkout, tipping, receipts, and inventory. Now imagine you run a subscription-based app. Stripe is perfect. You need recurring billing, user management, and global payments. Now imagine you sell digital courses worldwide. Stripe gives you more control and international reach. Now imagine you do pop-up events in markets. Square's mobile hardware is ideal. Now let's talk about support. Square offers phone and chat support for many plans. Stripe offers email and chat support, with premium support for larger accounts. Now let's talk about long-term growth. Stripe is built with developers and scaling in mind. Square is built with small business simplicity in mind. Neither is better overall, they are just better for different goals. So to summarize in one clear sentence, choose Square if you want simplicity and in-person selling. Choose Stripe if you want flexibility and online scalability. Once you align the tool with your business model, everything becomes easier, payments flow smoothly, fees make sense, and growth feels natural. And that is exactly the goal of this comparison, to save you time, money, and frustration by choosing the right platform from the start. Thanks for watching, guys. If this video helped you, smash that like button, subscribe for more quick tutorials and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Peace.